Let's turn to former Canadian diplomat Gordon Houlden. He joins us from Penticton, British Columbia. Professor, thanks for being on the program with us. There's so much drama and anticipation of Donald Trump's announcement on Wednesday. I think the White House is treating this sort of like a production, with everyone teasing what's about to come as if it's some reality show. We don't have a lot of details, plenty of speculation though. What do you think we're going to hear tomorrow?
Well, thank you, Asieh. Well, there is a lot of uncertainty, to be sure, but it's hard to imagine that President Trump is going to back down significantly. He appears to remain convinced that tariffs will be good for the United States. He tends to not put any weight by the arguments from economists that they will damage the U.S. economy and hurt the U.S.'s ability to trade globally. So I think it's what's debatable and unknowable still, maybe not even finally decided with the White House, is the exact tariff levels for each country. But I think in Canada, there's a high degree of confidence that there will be tariff measures put. I think the same thing is true for most of America's other trading partners. The principal 10 or 20 countries that run trade surpluses with the United States, I believe, will be in the crosshairs.
And I want to talk a little bit more about Canada in just a moment, but have you ever seen anything like this? So many tariffs on so many countries in such a short time, and it's not even over yet. There's going to be more tomorrow.
There is no precedent, in my opinion. Even back in the 1930s, when the U.S. began a tariff escalation globally that hurt the global economy, things didn't move at this pace. Trump has been in office for less than just 2 months, really 2 months and a couple of weeks, and yet we see this roiling, boiling reaction globally. I think a lot of the markets internationally and governments are waiting to see. They can't react with their own tariffs until they see precisely what the U.S. is doing, but there is no precedent for such a large country, the world's largest economy, acting so precipitously against all of its partners, including its allies.
Trump has repeatedly said tariff is his favorite word. He called it the most beautiful word in the dictionary. How much of this is part of his so-called strategy or leverage, and is it going to backfire on him?
Well, this remains to be seen, but I think already it has backfired in the sense that the uncertainty, the teasing of what will be the levels, what country will be affected in what ways, has already sapped business confidence. It's sapped business confidence within the United States and amongst America's trading partners. If you're an exporter of French wine to the U.S., where Trump has talked about possibly 200% levies on European liquor, there's no way that you're going to be able to ship goods now. Given that risk, everybody's waiting to see. So even without the tariffs, there's a price being paid by the global economy because of the uncertainty.
And let me finally get to Canada, Professor. This is certainly providing quite a test for Prime Minister Mark Carney, who has been in office, maybe 2 weeks now, and has an election coming up.
The timing is terrible for Canada because normally you'd want to have a government with a new mandate in full powers, with ministers who are accustomed to their portfolios. Just the opposite is happening. The Prime Minister, his ministers, the opposition leaders are necessarily crisscrossing the country, promoting their party before the election, which will fall later this month. So it means that, it does mean, however, that for all of the party leaders, this is the lead story, because it is such a big story and will affect Canada profoundly. So everything else, to some extent, has been pushed off the campaign with a focus now laser-like on President Trump and his tariff plans.
All right, we shall see what happens on Wednesday. Professor Gordon Houlden, thank you, as always.
Thank you, Asieh.